I welcome you all. So today we are going to see about introduction to the machine learning. Okay. So first, machine learning. It is a subfield of artificial intelligence. Three types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced learning. Okay. So first we will see the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. Okay, so supervised, it is a labeled data set. So the main objective is to learn a mapping from input to output space. Unsupervised learning, it is a unlabeled data. The main aim is to find the pattern and relationships with the data. Here reinforcement learning method is based on we have to learn from the mistakes. Okay, so this is how machines are learning. Okay, so look at this diagram. Here the machine learning algorithm is trained with the help of training data. You are giving a input data to a machine learning algorithm. Based on this models, it can predict the output. So after predicting the output, we have to evaluate the performance measure. Okay, so when it matches the accuracy means it's okay, or else we have to train the machine learning algorithm again. Okay, now you look at this diagram. Second one, here the unstructured raw data that has been converted into a structured data. So that process is known as pre-processing step. Okay, so by using a Hadoop, a big data tool, okay, that uses the map reducing programming function, so it converts the unstructured data into a structured data. Okay, so a learning algorithm is iterated continuously to obtain the candidate model. So a candidate model is nothing but a approximate model. So after deployed the particular selected model, we can get the golden copy, which is known as the accurate model. Okay, so based on the applications, we can use it. Supervised and unsupervised learning. So we are providing a labeled data. Here you can see that here the apples, they are mentioned with the labeling function as it is known as an apple. So a machine can predict that very easily. But in case of unsupervised learning, we are not mentioning what is that type of fruit, or we can't even mention what that object is. So it has to be learned on their own. So that method is unsupervised data. So this is one type of that supervised learning. So linear regression. So it's like a continuous variable. So the terms that keeps on changing. Okay, so like that, a temperature, a age, salary, price of any product. So that is known as the this linear regression method. Next, another example for a linear regression. Okay, here so based on the experience, the salary is varying. So here that x-axis, that is the independent variable, and y-axis is a dependent variable. So this is known as a linear regression. Okay, so logistic regression. So this method is in terms of a discrete form. Okay, so it characterized as a yes or no, true or false. If a mail is received from receiver means it can detect whether that mail is a spam content or not. Okay, so the next method in this supervised learning is support vector mission. So with the help of decision boundary, we are defining the data sets. So based on the classification, it works. The margin, the distance between these two support vectors, is called a maximized margin, and the center of that point is known as the optimal hyperplan. Okay, so we have to define them into separate classes, to which class that data must belong. Okay, so next one is decision tree. So decision tree, here you can see if we are given a question means based on that question it works. Okay, here we can see in the example, should I accept a new job offer? Okay, first that main node that represents the root node, the remaining nodes are the decision nodes. Okay, so here you can see in that node, first the question asked is salary at least $50,000. If it is no means that offer is declined. If it is yes means we have to commutate more than 1 hour, whether the distance from that home and that office, whether it is high or low. Okay, is more than no means 1 hour means automatically the offer is declined, or else if the offer that providing a free coffee or not, then we can accept the offer or decline the offer. Okay, so the two nodes, main nodes are the decision node and leaf node. Okay, so random forest is a collection of more decision tree. So it is an advanced version of a decision tree. Here data is provided. So in the first decision tree, it is a particular object is predicted as apple in tree 1. In tree 2 it is predicted as apple. In tree 3 it is predicted as banana. The major voting system, we have to make the final prediction as apple. Okay, so based on the voting system predicted by all the decision trees, the output has been finally predicted. Okay, so naive based algorithm, it is based on assumptions. Okay, so based on the assumptions it must be work. Here if you are going to buy a product means we have to find whether the discount is available, whether any free delivery is possible or not. So we have to find out whether for a particular day, if in weekdays whether the discount is available, free delivery yes, in weekend is not available. So whether you have to buy or don't buy that product. So based on the probability it is working. The next one is a artificial neural network. So it is as mainly it is having three layers: input, hidden layer, and output layer. So here in the input layer we are having age, debt ratio, and income. So the input is processed from the hidden layer. So and finally we can receive the output of that. So the next one is the unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning, it is a unlabeled data. So we are providing only the data without the labels. So the main goal is to find the regularities in the input. The input space normally follows certain patterns. So our aim is to build a model to identify these patterns. Okay. Now we can see several types of this unsupervised learning. Dimensionally reduction. So the features can be reduced in a data set. So here you can see this is a histogram example. So when a color image is given means we have to separate the red, green and blue, the pixel ranges. Okay. So the next type in this unsupervised learning is a clustering type. Okay. So clustering is mainly based on certain similarity of features. So this method is use a centroid based and hierarchical kind of modeling approaches. Best organize the data into a groups. So considering the maximum similarity in the data. So the next method is a KNN. So K nearest neighbor. So it can be considered as a voting system. So it determines the class label of a new data point among its nearest neighbors in the futures space. Here you can see before algorithm and after algorithm a graph has been drawn. Okay, so a new data point is examined and it has to be find whether which class or which category it has to be belong. Okay, so K means clustering. So it is also a unsupervised learning algorithm example. Here no label data has been used. Here the objects, data objects has to be found into clusters. So it shares some similarity and dissimilarity of the objects. Okay. So normally K is a constant. Okay. Here you can see in this example a graph is also drawn in x-axis width and y-axis is height. So here there are three categories. So the value of K is defined by this. So how many clusters that we are going to use, that defines this. So in one category is lean people, one is obesity type of, and another one is a normal shaded people. Okay. So the next type is a semi supervised learning. So in case of semi-supervised learning, input data, some of the things are labeled, some of them are unlabeled. So we have to predict using this. So the last one is a reinforcement learning. Here the output of the system is a sequence of actions. So a single action is not important. Actually, what is important is that is a sequence of correct actions to reach the goal. Okay. So accessing the goodness of policies and learn from past good action sequence to be able to generate a policy. Okay, so such learning methods are known as the reinforcement learning algorithm. So among the machine learning algorithms, these may be found as the best example. So Navy's Bayes classifier algorithm is based on the probability. Okay, we can see an example of this based on a product you can buy in online. Then the support vector machine algorithm, it is a supervised based algorithm. So based on the classifiers, it worked. So logistic regression type, then artificial neural network, which has three layers: input, hidden layer, and output. Then the final is the random forest. So it is a combinations of many decision trees, and based on the voting system we can predict the final value. Okay, so these are some main applications of this machine learning classifications for all the types: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So the next one is a deep learning algorithm. So it is an advanced version of this machine learning. So here more type of hidden layers are used in deep learning algorithm. So in the next videos we can see about the deep learning algorithms and also some main types of the machine learning algorithms in a brief. Thank you. Thank you everyone.